ResortLoop.com's HolidayThon 2020 is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company and Resort Loop Travel. Try Joffrey's newest blend from their Disney Specialty Coffee Collection. Disney's Riviera Resort Blend has been handcrafted by head roastmaster Chris DeMezzo. The Riviera Blend features a perfect blend of beans from Papua New Guinea, Kenya, and Costa Rica. You can find it at Joffreys.com. If you are thinking about a Disney cruise in 2021, here at Resort Loop Travel, we would love to get you a free no-obligation quote. You can find us at ResortLoopTravel.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard.
Ho, ho, ho! Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. HolidayThon 2020 concludes today. Hey, everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Thank goodness it's 2021.
Yes! Yes!
It took a while.
So good.
Join us at the Roundtable
Right.
for the New Year's show. Emily Hansa Hicks.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for yet another year of Resort Loop.
Woo!
We're happy to have you.
We are thrilled to have you. Also joining us, Mr. Brightcoats.
Day one of a brand new experience.
Oh, yes.
Cannot wait to experience Disney for 2021. Can't wait. How about you guys?
I'm excited. Let's start this snowball rolling
Yes.
down the hill.
Yes.
Also join us, the original
sure.
Super Looper himself, Mr. Joe, capital Q, Quattrochi.
Tim, Happy New Year from the Space Coast here in Central Florida.
Oh, nice. Did you catch a launch the other day?
Yes, I did.
Look at you.
It's funny. My wife is so into like the launches, and she has the app, and we get all the SpaceX and all the other different companies that launch from Kennedy, and we're always running out into our cul-de-sac to watch the launches.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
amazing.
fun. It's one of the perks. You have to take advantage of it while you live here. So
Heck yeah. We're super into SpaceX, so I love it and jealous because every time we go down there, in fact, every time we've gone on 2 cruises, I don't want to say every time we cruise, but we always get really excited and check to see if there's going to be any launches anytime around when we go. So far, no luck, but
Oh, it'll happen. It will happen. Anyway, Happy New Year, everyone. I thought
maybe in 20.
maybe instead of looking back, because we don't need to look back at 2020. We all remember 2020. We want to look forward a little bit. We thought, let's talk about what everybody's wishes are for the new year. I'll take non-DVC. If you have a big thing you want for non-DVC, that's good. If you want DVC, that's fantastic. Let's start off with ladies first. Emily, what's your wish for 2021?
All the pressure. Oh man, the wish for 21, definitely to go back to the world. So we haven't been, so in 2020, we only made it in January because of course the bottom fell out of the universe in February/March. So luckily we made it big in January. So we used up a lot of points, borrowed points, and had a really fun time with friends. But so I'm hoping our objective is to get there for October. Our school has Yom Kippur weekend off generally. They have like the Monday and Friday. And we don't celebrate Yom Kippur as such. So we sometimes try to make that a long weekend because it's a great point season. It's like low points. Crowds are low because kids are in school and not everybody gets that weekend off. And so that is like my big wish is that we actually get there in October and that we are able to have a somewhat normal experience in the sense that, like maybe things are a little bit more under control and relaxed and all that great stuff. So, that's my biggest wish is to just, at least Disney related, is that we get back.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Going back, where do you want to stay? Optimal place.
Oh, geez, that's tough. It's really weird because I keep thinking about Animal Kingdom,
Oh.
and I don't know if that's because that's where we spent last holidays, the New Year's Eve. But I keep thinking about Animal Kingdom and how I really miss being able to look out my window and seeing giraffes. I'm so spoiled. But I wouldn't kick Grand Floridian out either.
I was going to say that was
nice too.
I thought it was a no-brainer. I was prepared for the Grand Floridian answer, so I'm kind of thrilled to hear something different.
Yeah, there's something about Animal Kingdom that's just it's just especially magical. And I think probably part of me is still, I don't want to say averse to the parks, but it's the parks seem so many people and so much. So part of me is just thinking like, where do I feel peaceful and relaxed without a lot of people around in Disney? And that's of course at the resorts. So that, and then of course, Animal Kingdom is like, you just look out your window and you could sit there all day with a glass of wine and a book and watch creatures. So yeah, I think that's like, it just feels like a relaxing option right now.
I think that's part of the evolution of a Disney fan, of a Disney Parks fan. You've learned that the parks are fantastic, but sometimes the resorts are just as fantastic.
Yep.
100%
Exactly.
agree.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, let's continue going around the horn. I heard Brad Coates. Brad, what's your wish for 2021?
So, a lot of it, I did get a chance back in, June, to go out for a quick trip to the world. And during the COVID and all of that, and had one of the best experiences I've ever had going to the world. But I got to be honest with you, right now we've got scheduled to be at Aulani in February for our anniversary, and June for the world. And I really am looking forward to the opportunity to get back to Disneyland.
Oh.
Honestly, it makes me a little nervous. I mean, I know it'll be fine. I know they're going to find a way to pull it out, but that park and those employees have been out of the loop for so long, and there is no end in sight, and it makes me nervous for them. And that in its own way, Disneyland's always kind of been my home park, and so I really, really, really do want to get back to seeing and experiencing Disneyland again. That's right up there. And then if I'm going to add to the list, please, in June, when I come back to the world, please let something have got back on the docket and got finished. I don't care. Ratatouille,
Love it.
Guardians, Tron, you know what? Mary Poppins experience. I don't care. Let something we were all dreaming of and waiting for to get back on track and actually get ready by June. That would make me a very happy man. I'm not holding my breath, but that would make me happy.
I love that. There was so much stuff on the docket that was going to be coming out staggered for such a long period of time.
Right. And we were so excited. You're so right. I forgot about all those new things. Oh, and I want to back up your Tron idea not because of Tron, because I don't know anything about Tron, but I'm sure it's going to be great. But my son needs to ride the train. And we have gone for like almost 2 years now, I think, where the train
it's never running.
Has been interrupted. Yeah, because the tracks are interrupted because they're constructing. And I have faith that they're going to put that track back up because, it's Disney World and it's trains, right? but they just need to do that. That would be an amazing. That'll be my wish.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, he just needs to get on that train again. Like every time, he just wants to ride the train, and it's just sitting there. So
yes.
Anyway.
And the train whistle is one of those things that tells you're there,
Right.
Yeah, right.
Before he's a teenager and before he doesn't care about trains anymore, I just want that train to be back up and running.
Oh, I know plenty of adults who are huge Trains fans, so I think you might be okay. Joe Quattrochi, what is your wish going forward for 2021?
Well, my wish is it's not very popular. I'm going to be a little blunt here.
Uh-oh.
But I'm tired, and this is reality. And I understand that people on the West Coast, like Brad just mentioned, that who are Disneyland fans, and people that are Paris Disneyland, Paris fans, and all the other parks that aren't open. But as a Disney World fan, and we do have some stuff open, but I'm just really tired of the half opened experience. And I understand it's because of COVID, and I understand, with the social distancing and the mask wearing and all that stuff, but it's the fact that I want full resorts open. I want full restaurants open. I want full attractions open because we're paying full price.
True.
I want the full experience. I want fireworks back. I'm glad that the electrical water pageant's been testing. I want that to come back. I want everything. I want spas open. I want everything fully functioning because Disney World, the way it's functioning right now, and I mentioned this to a friend of ours. I said, it's like a V8 car running on 4 cylinders, but you're still paying the full price of the V8. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not running at full speed. It should be running at full speed, hopefully. I know that we're making strides with the real world that's going on. But that's if I have a wish. I want that. I want the full experience back. I'm tired of, such an awesome place being throttled back. And that's what I want, because really it hasn't been – I've been a few times. I've talked about it on the show here. And it's been fun. It's been good to get back. And I missed it for a while when it was shut down for a couple months. I mean, I missed it really bad. But I've gone since, and it's good to be back. But it's not there yet. And if I've got one wish moving forward into 2021, and it's a big wish, and I understand, like, right now with the theme park reservations are going to be through the following year, and Fast Pass might not be coming back yet, so it's going to take time. I understand that, but Tim, I'm wishing right now. I want the full experience back. I want full resorts. I want a resort hop. I want to not have to look at my app and see which restaurants are open. I want Casey's open. I want to grab some corn dog nuggets on Main Street. It's the little things like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, man. And like I said, these are champagne problems. And to all of the loopers out there who are Disneyland fans or are fans of other Disney parks, or who haven't been able to travel to Disney World because of either health concerns or financial concerns or whatever, I understand that, and plus I sympathize with you. But if we're wishing, I just want to put that out there. I would like to have the full experience back, because I did renew my annual pass. I'm still lucky able to do that. But as somebody paying full price, I'm still not getting my full experience, even with the restrictions going on. So that's what I want. Santa Tim for 2021. So if you could make that happen, it'd be fantastic. But I mean, I know we all wish that.
Would you say you want it all? You want it all. You want it all, and you want it now?
No, I don't want to. I don't want it now. If a plan was in place and I had something to look forward to, then I would be okay. It just seems like, and I know recently, I know it's the new year. I know a few weeks back they had a bunch of announcements that came out delaying a lot of projects that should have been done. We're hopefully going to be done for the 50th, and now we're going to be pushed, which kind of stinks. So that's kind of like unfortunate, because they'll at least give us something to look forward to. But we'll see going forward. But that's what I want, Tim. Give me full parks, full world.
I love it.
I love it. That's part of the reason we're trying to wait till October, because I just some part of me will be really jarred by seeing half of Disney operating. It'll just be. And
Emily, if you haven't experienced, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird at first, because you're going to be used to. For example, I always think of you at the boardwalk. I don't know why. I think it's because you introduced me to the word buskers.
We go there a lot.
I know, right? But you introduced me to the word buskers. I always think of you and your family with all the entertainers out there, and when you walk on the boardwalk and there's nothing going on. And you're just like, wow, it's a little weird, you'll see things that you're so used to, seeing every time you go, and they're not there because of COVID or layoffs or whatever. So it's going to be a little different for you when you see it, but it's still good to be back. Don't get me wrong. We're very fortunate we can still go, but it's going to be a little bit of an interesting experience.
Oh, that's where, to be honest, I was going to say that for me, I'm so glad you said this the way that you said it, because I had a conversation not too long ago with somebody that was talking to me about the trips that I had planned for next year. And was I looking forward to going in June? And it was weird, because part of me is yes, because this is my first family trip back, and I get my son-in-law and my daughter and both my girls, and yes, I'm excited. And yet there's another part of me that was just but to be honest with you, if I could cancel that and turn it into another trip to Aulani or a trip to Disneyland, I think I would do it in a heartbeat. And it's exactly what you said, Joe. I had the best experience the last trip to Disney World during COVID. Yes. But I've just been planning for multiple clients. I know, Tim, you probably wrestle with this. How do we walk our people through? I've got one's going to be there in a week. And get them excited, because the reality is now half the stuff is closed. The stuff that was going to be done when they made the plan way back when, none of it's ready, none of it's finished. Epcot is a shell. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to eat food, you might as well just stay away, because it's just a shell. And with all of that being the case, where's the joy? And the lines are long. So there's no joy in that anymore. So it's just I want it open.
And Brad,
Joe,
I at the time this is going to be put out, because it's obviously after New Year's, I'll be there in a few days. for former marathon weekend. And besides seeing a few friends, Florence and Mike Porter, and Dave Lawrence and Eileen, like seeing some of my friends. But besides that, there's no races. I mean, I shortened my trip. I mean, I can't bank the points anymore. So Jen and I were like, well, I think we'll go. We'll go for a little bit. We'll see some people. Hopefully I'll run into Mike Rallman. I'm always a big fan of Mike. I like to say hi to him and all of the, the lizards and, any of the Rocketeers that'll be down, of course, as well. But it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, I couldn't roll my points over anymore. So I'm like, I'm excited to go and get away for a weekend, but we're literally going Friday to Sunday. Like, it's a short weekend, and I'm sure there'll be some kind of running event with the lizards coming up. But, it's one of those things where it's just like, because I want that full experience, and I know, like, my wish, Tim, is very broad and it's very cliche. Oh yeah, we want everything open, but it's really, I think everybody's kind of tired and everybody just wants to, it's the one place that this is why we do this podcast, right? We love Disney World. We love Disney. We love talking about the parks. They're special places to us. They're places for us to go and get away from this. And then we're constantly reminded of it.
Right.
We're being reminded of, face coverings and social distancing and an hour and a half lines for, Jungle Cruise lines that run through to the hub in Main Street. I mean, it's like, it's crazy, So, I mean, that's, but yeah, Brad, you're right. It's one of those things where, and that's tough as a travel agent, but, I think that, if you're still a fan of Disney, you should still, if you're able to go, you should still go, give it a shot. Because one day you'll be able to say, I went during a pandemic and it was crazy. So when things get back to normal, yes, you could say, I did Disney during a pandemic. I don't know if that's a badge of honor or not. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we'll make it one, but we'll
make
see.
it out alive. I think.
Make a race medal out of that one. That would be cool.
Right. And honestly, that was going to be, and Brad, and I don't know, Tim, if we're jumping the gun, but that was going to be my second wish. And if we're going to do another round, if not, but Run Disney is gone essentially. And it disappeared from California. We understand that for multiple reasons with the city of Anaheim and things, but even Disney World, it's not happening anymore. And it's just, I miss the Run Disney races. Marathon weekends, like some of my favorite race times. I mean, it's fantastic. And the fact that there's no more run, I mean, I got a lot of medals. I don't need to pay for a medal. You know what I'm saying? I run to run the world, and I run to see people and to run those roads and see those purple signs and run through the parks. That's why I do it. And the fact that they're not having it, it's killing me. I mean, it's some of my favorite races. And I know, Emily, you're a big fan of it, obviously, too, with the Run Disney stuff.
I was going to say, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a Ohioan perspective on this in a second, which Tim hopefully will relate to. But you guys come from sunny climes where like things are beautiful all the year. But I'll get into that in 1 second after I say, the one thing I will say about this virtual thing, I think it would be amazing if they continued to offer, one wish I have is that they continue to offer some kind of virtual option for the Run Disney things, because I have so many friends now that are signing up for the Run Disney and virtual stuff, and they're using them as fitness goals at home, and they're doing all kinds of, like, I think our kids were doing 5Ks at home with our kids when we couldn't necessarily get to Disney that often. And it's just such a, like, especially in this like winter, and especially as, the numbers climb or stay plateaued high or whatever. On the last podcast, I think Matt ran in the room while I was recording, and he showed me a box for the Wine and Dine kit for the challenge. Mm-hmm. And I probably have never been so excited to see a meal in my life. It was incredible. So if they continue to do some kind of like experience for people at home, that would be great, because not everybody can travel as much as we often do. Not everybody can get to Disney World for all the races. Even there's times where we, like it is, Run Disney really blew our vacation budget. We had planned our DVC around like normal family vacationing. We didn't plan it around all these weekend trips, to go do a run, all these, like, all of a sudden we're eating at restaurants and stuff instead of doing it like our dinners in our room. Then we have to get a babysitter. Shout out to Natalie, who shows up at like 2 or 3 a.m. because she used to do Run Disney too before she decided she was crazy. So for that, not babysitting for us, shockingly, but yeah. So it adds up, and it's expensive, and it's time consuming, and you have to get to Disney, and especially once you get involved, Joe, you form a community And you want to be there for every race. You want to be there to see your friends. You want to be there to run the races. But it is kind of amazing to be able to have a little piece of that joy at home. So I kind of hope they keep that up. And I hope that all my friends like Tiffany and Dorothy that have started signing up for these races and going out into our local parks and just doing their own half marathon, like that they have the option to continue to try to get some Disney magic, because it's so motivating for people like myself who otherwise don't have like necessarily a goal to work towards. So that's one wish. But then the other thing I was going to say is we're kind of like taking a little negative spin on this, but it is the new year. So I want to be positive and kind of put it in Ohio light, the whole thing. This is like Disney. This is my wish. Disney is like a tree, like a deciduous fruit tree or something, right? So this is like the hibernation winter stage. And we get that. Like, you can't be flourishing right now. It's hard. It's like, but what I want to see in the new year is that I think this is kind of what we're all saying. We want it to bloom and blossom and have more blossoms than ever. Like, I want all of the people who were working at Disney World to get their jobs back. And I want to see the place bustling with employees. I want to see the cast members everywhere smiling like they've never smiled before, because they have more reason to cherish this cool role that many of us would really like. I would like to be a boat driver. But yeah, so I just kind of want to see that. I would like to see the flourishing after the hibernation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you have forest fires and then you have like a huge burst of regrowth. And that's kind of what I'd like to see. And it would be a shame. I mean, there were so many great ideas and so many things that were going to happen. And I would just like to see new energy. It can happen. I mean, there's enough of an economy. Like, I think the economy is going to continue to rise. Like, just look at Disney's stock price, guys. Like, I mean, I don't know exactly what it is today on January 1st, but I can tell you, like, it's been doing pretty well, right? So, like, this is an environment where I really do believe that we can thrive and innovate in a way that we haven't recently, because things have just been kind of trucking along. Mm-hmm. Now, this is like that forest fire strips out kind of like all but the most necessary stuff, and now we can spring up with new growth. So, sorry. That's my Ohio analogy. Or the winter, the fruit trees.
I love it. I
just want to say, Tim, if by the time you edit this and it goes out, if the DIS stock ticker plummets, it is not Tim Scott or ResortLoop.com's
right
about that. So.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to have to take that. I think we'll be okay. I think it'll be a good year travel wise as the year goes on, because there's such a pent up demand because people just want to go places. Yeah. And I think this year is going to be especially domestic travel. People are going to want to travel in this country, and what better place than Disney World and Disneyland and even Alani.
Right.
So,
I mean, sure, I'd go there if you made me.
Yeah.
If we twisted your arm.
I got to.
Oh, hey, Tim, do you mind if I jump in? I have a wish as well. Okay, I have several because, it's me. And surprisingly, none of these have to do with alcohol. I know. My wish for each of us in this community, and what a community it is, full of love and laughter and support. And my wish for each of us in the new year is a renewed sense of hope. A year full of opportunities to spread and receive kindness and joy. More than anything, I wish for us all the energy to continue every day to choose optimism in the face of adversity. And I continue to hope that our community grows stronger and is knit more closely together by our shared love of Disney magic. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Right.
Well, Tim, what is your wish?
Yeah. I will say,
Emily, you are hosting, but still, we need to ask you what your wish would be.
And I will tell you, because Emily touched on mine. I'm hoping that all the cast members who were laid off either get their job back, or they went forward, found another career, but are taking the skills they learned at Disney and that Disney attitude and taking it to whatever their new endeavors are. Because there's nothing wrong with taking that Disney attitude outside of the parks and taking it out into the real world and sharing it with other people. It kind of falls under the just be nice.
You are so right. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not sure if I posted this on our Looper Nation Live or not, but I will make sure I do if I didn't. But there's a website with cast members that have been laid off, and it's all about sort of their side hustles and things that they are making and shipping and things that they're doing now that they're they have more free time. And if I think it's like London Ears, I'll have to look it up. But point is, if that is like exactly, Tim, what you said is so perfect, because they were talking about one cast member who is an artist, and because she was not working, she ended up designing like labels for a local beer company, and all of a sudden she's got sort of like a career in design. So I mean, I hope that if they don't get to return to the jobs that they loved, or maybe they didn't love it, and I hope they find a better job. But if they don't get to return to the jobs that they love, they find something that they can be even more passionate about. So there's a lot of talent in those cast members, like so much.
Yes, there is. So hopefully 2021 will be a better year for everybody involved. Anybody have anything else they want to say before we wrap this up and start marching forward for 2021?
No, I'm excited to march forward, Tim. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to all of what we just said. And I'm looking forward to another year of the DVC Roundtable here on ResortLoop.com. Absolutely. We're going to have some special shows coming up that I think will be fantastic for the listeners. So, especially if you're considering DVC,
perfect.
These will be great shows. We're going to march right down the middle of Main Street 2021. Emily, if someone wants to find you or talk to you, where can they find you?
I'll be at Looper Nation Live. I'm Emily Jean there, and I'm so excited to hear from you. And I promise New Year's resolution to be more active there.
Oh, fantastic. I thought you were fantastic. Mr. Bridcoats, where can people reach you?
You can reach me at Papa Mouse 101 on Twitter, hanging out in the Resort Loop Live Facebook page, and just sitting here in my office waiting for the day to pack that bag and get out of town.
I think your bag's already packed, to be honest. You're just waiting to pick it up and go.
Is. Okay, you're right.
Joe,
I'm ready to travel light. I'm good.
There you go.
3 pair of underwear, and I rent a laundry facility. I'm good.
Yeah, and you wear all 3 at one time. That way you just have to peel off as you go. Joe, where can people find you?
Twitter, but mostly Instagram at Joe Quat. You can also find me over at the Mickey Dudes podcast.
Excellent. Before I wrap it up, I'd like to give a few thanks out there to everybody for not only helping with Resort Loop's HolidayThon 2020, but all your help throughout the past year or so. I know it's been tough for everybody, but I really appreciate everybody's help and support. First of all, I need to thank my lovely wife, Dawn. Undying support from home. I always love having her on the show, and she's getting a big following coming on the show, so I have to mix in a little bit more of Dawn. I'd like to thank Len, our good friend Len Testa. He kicked off our annual tradition of starting HolidayThon. I think this is like the 5th year in a row, actually. Victor Naraki, first-time guest on the show, did a fantastic job. Makes me want to move to outside the parks now more than ever. You can always find him at DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. Jim Hill, first time on the show. Fantastic. Loved having Jim on the show. Hope to have him on again. I'd like to thank him personally for sharing his information about Disney Plus with us. I thought that was wonderful. Cal Connor, got to thank him for sharing his Alani trip with us. I love the trip reports. Not just Cal, everybody throughout the past year. Thank you very much for sharing your trip reports, not just on the show, but at Looper Nation Live. And again, like Cal did, if you're somewhere in the parks and you want to stream to our Facebook page, Looper Nation Live, feel free to do so. And of course, the Resort Loop DVC Roundtable you just heard, Emily Hansa Hicks, Rebecca Toon, Brad Coase, and of course, Joe Quattrochi. I appreciate your commitment to the show and for all your help throughout the year. And I can't forget Jeremy Hunt. Jeremy's been a great friend of the show, great friend of mine. He's doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and I really appreciate that. Again, I just want to thank everybody for a wonderful 2020, given everything that has been going on. Everybody, we're going to have a great 2021. You've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. Take it away, guys.
Happy New Year.
See you, everybody.